Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michael. You will always be an individual that we have such admiration and gratitude for, the way you and Northwell stepped up to help us get through a global pandemic. And that was a real test. And you are an individual that we are proud that we call our own here in New York State, but the global reach of the work that's done and the many, many facets of Northwell, particularly in the research, is transformative and saving lives. So again, let's give a round of applause to Michael Dowling, the President and CEO of Northwell. And you gave a shout out to Sharon in the chat here. I want to thank you for just being so strong and overcoming so much. And you go through life thinking everything's going to be on a certain path, and one day it's not. And to you and to Casey, who I saw a story profiling his journey this morning in Newsday, it's just it's humbling for the rest of us to know there's people out there who are so tough and so resilient, and your story gives hope to others. So let's give them both a round of applause, Sharon and Chad, for what you've done. You also are blessed with extraordinary elected officials here, and I know what I'm talking about because I get to travel the entire state. They are committed, they're dedicated, they are hardworking, and they are passionate about making sure that the needs of Long Islanders are met. And I know that because I heard a lot from them in the entire year I've been the governor of the state of New York. So let me acknowledge Anna Kaplan, who you'll be hearing from shortly. She's the 7th District. Anna, thank you for all you do. You're going to be hearing from Assembly Member Gina Saletti. She's the 16th District. But also our friends, Senator Kevin Thomas. Thank you for everything you've done. Senator John Brooks, an important part of this initiative, and Jim Gorin as well. And I will say that Todd Kaminsky was also, as a senator, was very involved in helping us get the resources for this. I also want to mention, as Michael did, Kevin Tracy. I mean, everybody has their own superheroes, people they look up to, and sometimes our superheroes are actually wearing not a cape, but a lab coat. And to the people who innovated this whole new field of medicine, of bioelectronics, and 10 points to anybody out in the street who knows what that is. I know you all know what it is in here, but that is extraordinary, and that's what gives me such pride as a New Yorker, to know that that work is being done right here. Started in 1996, really didn't come into its full existence until about 10 years ago. But Kevin, stand up and take a bow. Kevin Tracy, the president of the Feinstein Institute for Medical Research. Thank you. And Kevin Law, who's the chair of Empire State Development, knows a little bit about Long Island. We recruited him from Long Island intentionally because we knew he knew the needs of the entire state, but also a special emphasis on a part of our state that sometimes feels a little bit overlooked and wants to make sure that they get the full attention they deserve. And someone who's well known around this state, a rock star in her work, a true leader of an organization that is making economic development decisions that are lifting New Yorkers up every day, and that is the president of ESD, Hope Knight. So let's give Hope Knight a round of applause as well. Well, I just want to say I had a really smooth ride out here. I didn't used to be able to say that before. We tackled the potholes. Taylor Darley, I didn't acknowledge Taylor Darley. I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't mention you. Taylor, the pothole person, the person who I was on a phone call with last year, and she says, I said, where are you? Where are you, Assembly Member? And she says, well, I'm sitting at a tire repair shop right now because another $500 are repairing another tire that was a victim of a pothole on Long Island. And I said, we're going to go at it. And so we actually put $1 billion into the state's fund to go after the potholes. We will be. So I thought it was a little bit smoother ride out there. I'm used to getting jostled around in the back seats of trucks all over the state, but and we will be making an announcement to talk about our progress, and I'm really proud that we've done over 300 miles of lane miles since I've been governor. But it's been extraordinary. But that's just one investment. That's just one quality of life investment that we've been making, realizing that that's important to people. I know on Long Island, it's about people talk about a couple things. You talk about potholes, you talk about property taxes, and you talk about the Islanders. Okay, I get it. I spent a lot of time here. But I also want to talk about the future of Long Island overall and the investments we've made. And one of them is in education. that is an area where we have the opportunity to lift people up out of their circumstances. People come from all over. People like my grandparents had nothing, but when they were able to give their kids a good public education, and my parents were able to benefit, I was able to benefit as well. So I want to make sure that we do that. We increased school aid to Long Island, increased by $457 million in our last budget. And again, I thank our members of our delegation. That's 12% more than the previous year. But also I mentioned property taxes. So we also decided that we would help give some relief with our property tax rebate. An average of $1,300 for over 500,000 of Long Islanders benefited from that as well. So we're very attuned to the concerns they have in a time of inflation. We want to put that money back in people's pockets. We also have some challenges after the pandemic in particular, and different parts of our state are hit harder than others, but the whole epidemic of the opioid crisis and how people are succumbing to addiction, people like my own nephew a few years back. This is personal to a lot of families. And I want to make sure that we have the resources here, so we allocate over $63 million just to Long Island alone, prevention and services there as well. But as we lift up our people, we invest in our people with education and health care and making sure that they have needs if they have particular challenges. We're also working to lift up the overall economy, putting that front and center, number one, in our transition to clean energy. You've heard me out here nonstop talking about our investment in offshore wind. And it's not just what's going to happen off the shores, it's the supply chain. It's over $500 million we've invested to create an ecosystem where there was none. To say we will put that investment here because it's going to benefit people all over, but particularly those who will be building the transmission lines and doing the work here and helping the men and women in labor here as well. So that'll ultimately create over 2,000 green jobs right here. That's a lot of economic activity, but also how we get people around. We're almost done with the third track, LIR's third track. I met Kevin Law back in 2014 when I was just becoming a lieutenant governor. And I was chair of the Regional Economic Development Council. I went to all the meetings, so I knew all the projects that were coming out of Long Island. And all I heard about, if we can get this third track done, it'll be transformative, and we're just almost finished with that too as well. So we're investing in the infrastructure, making sure the trains run more often, but also, there's that element, but also economic development, transforming our downtowns, looking at vacant properties and seeing a new project that could be incredible for a community and bring people jobs and opportunities. So we decided that we didn't have the exact projects at the time in the budget, but why not set aside a fund? And this was in working closely at the advocacy of your senators and your assembly members in particular. They were coming into my office every day during the budget process, and I congratulate them on our collective success of being able to find and allocate $350 million for projects that'll help the regional economy right here on Long Island. And that'll start delivering economic benefits all across Long Island. So that's what this fund is all about. And again, to the individuals who got this over the finish line, I'm grateful. And one thing we're focusing on, this is one of the industry clusters that we talked about with the Long Island Regional Economic Development Council. A big part of it truly is the booming life sciences sector. It is enormous here. This space owns it. This part of our state owns this. And the future of science and medicine, it's being innovated right here in this building, in this very building. So we wanted to make sure that we can continue to be and will always be the premier destination for life sciences research and innovation, which is why we're gathered here today. What an extraordinary space this is. The Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research. And you think about the connectivity, the research corridor from here, Cold Spring Harbor, Brookhaven Lab, Stony Brook. I mean, name another part of our country that has this. Now, some may think they have a little triangle. Okay, a triangle's kind of limiting, you know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. We're a whole corridor. I think that sounds a lot better, don't you, Kevin? And it sounds like there's unlimited possibilities as we build linkages into this corridor. So I'm very excited about this. And we've made major progress in therapeutics and technology. And you don't have to look very far for incredible world-class talent because it's all right here. And you think about the jobs we've created, the life-changing research, brand new technologies, and that's why we're here today to celebrate the completion of this project. I mean, it was a long time in coming. A lot of people believed in this, so we're celebrating that today and how this shows what real investments can do. So this is, as I mentioned, a whole new field of science. It was born here, grew up here. don't know if it's in its teenage years, maybe young adult, you'd have to tell us. I'm not sure in the lifespan of a new field of science and medicine, but this was just inconceivable a few years ago, and I want everybody to appreciate that. No one could have imagined that you could help people walk again. People come into a facility after something devastating, come in a wheelchair and see the path to be able to walk out with the assistance of the work that's being done right here. That is powerful. That is transformative. And that's really when you think about why we are where we are, those who chose a life in science and medicine and research, and those of us who chose a path in public service. We're all aiming toward the same objective, and that is to give people a better outcome in life. And so that's why we're here, and it's all happening right here on Long Island in this very space. And I'm excited about the fact that we're recruiting people from around the world, across the nation, across the world. Over 100 new people will be working here. These are good paying jobs. They'll be able to bring their families here and grow and can be part of the whole Long Island success story. And the state made over $30 million investment in this project to bring it to life. But we couldn't do it without the people here today. I want to thank also the people who built this building, the tradespeople who worked so hard to make sure that this is an exceptional building. So we put up the building. That's great. Okay, nice. We got a building, but we're not stopping there. I mentioned the Long Island Investment Fund at $350 million, when we talked about how we can target that money to make it really be impactful. And so I'm excited to announce that today, the fund's very first grant, a $10 million grant, is going right here to this facility to Feinstein. We are going to, thank you, we're going to renovate existing lab space and construct 10 new ones, state-of-the-art facilities that'll support the center, and also the ability to secure more federal grants from NIH. I mean, that's what's important. They're going to check out the facilities, and also to continue our recruitment of the very best and brightest across the world. So it'll be cutting-edge research in cancer, neuroscience, autoimmune diseases, and of course, our favorite, bioelectronic medicine. So my view is, and this goes back to an old baseball movie I love, if you build it, they will come. And now they're coming, and that's so exciting, and I'm so energized by this. This will be another 70 high-wage jobs, high-wage jobs. I'll get if they're not busy, I'll have them out on the highway working on the potholes, too, because I'm not done with the potholes yet. But we're going to continue making these investments. But I also want to let you know everybody get ready, because we're going to be launching a $50 million life sciences business competition right here on Long Island. So get the word out. So it's not just about the research, which is fabulous, but it's also about the commercialization of that, the innovations. And there's often a disconnect. And we want to make sure that through this competition, we make that connection tighter. And we'll be working collaboratively with local universities and research institutions. And it really will be a catalyst for startups. And that's what we're excited about as well, allowing people to come here in our research corridor and know that we can have great jobs created. So we're continuing our investment. Statewide, we have $620 million for the Life Sciences Initiative, and we're going to just keep expanding it. It's amazing what we're doing here. So I want to thank everybody here, because I say, why not Long Island? Why not Long Island? And this is the place that is going to be known across the nation for not just having the smartest people, but the greatest facilities and the businesses that blossom as a result of the brilliant people that are working in the lab coats right here as we speak. So this is a great day for Long Island. All the doers, the thinkers, this is where you want to congregate. And again, this is not just one reputation. It is an expanded reputation, where people know that Long Island is where the future is being imagined, but also we are now living in the future. We are now living in the future, and I find that very exciting. So thank you very much. And with that, we'll bring up, I believe, Senator Anna Kaplan to give a few remarks. Thank you for all you've done, Senator.